Hello! So lately I've been reading a lot of non-fiction books and I wanted to review one that I recently finished. This is The Happiness of Pursuit by Guillebeau. Nice little boat on the cover and it says, "Find the quest that will bring purpose to your life." This came out in September last year. It was published in the UK by Macmillan. It's just over 300 pages long, and if you've heard of Guillebeau, it's probably because he wrote the $100 Startup, which was a bestseller a few years back. So this book is about quests and finding a quest. It opens with a short chapter which talks about the author's own experience in one of many airports across the world, and you learn that he has been to every country in the world, and something that started as a hobby or a fascination turned into his life quest. And so he did that, but instead of writing about just that, he has collected stories from dozens of people all over the world who have embarked on quests, all very different, some sort of big, some small, some personal, some sort of more to do with the world around the people. And he sort of talks to those people and uses their stories and their method to gather wisdom and a little guide on how to quest. This book is structured into three parts. The beginning is how to find a quest, what makes a quest different than an ambition or a goal. The middle section is how to, embark on the quest. It's the doing of it once you've discovered what it is, and the last section is how to reflect on it and how to live your normal life once you've done something very life-changing. So some of the people he talks to are people who have done things like walk across America or cycle across Europe. He focuses a lot on a lady who wanted to see every single species of bird in the world, and there are a few really quirky, amusing ones, like a woman who decided to have 50 dates in 50 states. I enjoyed this book mostly for the stories about the other people and the quests that they'd chosen to embark on and why they decided to do that with their life. I didn't read this so much to find out how to find my own quest and how to go about carrying it out. Oops. But it is written with that in mind. It's written to instruct you on how to do what these people and what this author has done. I'm not sure if happiness, although it's lovely wordplay in the title, I'm not sure happiness is the right word. His focus isn't really on being happy, it's on finding purpose and finding a satisfaction through that purpose. So I don't think you should go into this book with the attitude that it's a self-help book that's going to make you happier, because that's not really what I got out of it. And likewise, I didn't finish it and then think, okay, these are the changes I need to apply to my life to set out in my quest, because I wasn't reading it for that purpose. But I still really enjoyed it because I got to read about other people who have done impressive things, and maybe I'll come back to it if I do ever figure out that I want to do something huge and important with my life. His advice on finding and doing a quest is usually quite practical. It's not particularly spiritual. It's about how to budget and how to overcome really mundane problems, like in his case it's visas to get into countries and traveling to countries where laws are very strict and that kind of thing. So it is very practical, realistic. He talks about people who have failed quests naturally. And at the end of every chapter you get a little recap which sort of tells you what you're supposed to have taken out of that chapter. Kind of reminds me of textbooks at school. It's like, okay, you finished the chapter, here's what you're supposed to have learned. But it's useful, and it's broken up, the style of this. There's various little boxes and formatting things going on, and every few chapters there's a little small chapter in italics which is just like a personal anecdote of one of his travel stories, and I like those to break up the sort of routine of the quest talk. Occasionally I thought the language delved a little bit too much into cliched phrases and expressions. I'm not really sure. I can't think of any examples, but I did think that when I was reading it, that I was seeing repeated phrases. Nothing major though. This was very readable. I actually read most of it on a plane, and I find that if something can keep my attention while I'm thousands of feet in the air, then it's probably an accessible, readable book. I was quite compelled to look up some of the people mentioned in the book when I finished reading it, just because I thought their quests were really interesting, and lots of them of course blog about what they're doing because it's an internet age and the author is a big blogger and internet presence also. So I enjoyed this book. It didn't inspire me all that much, but I liked reading it, and I found a lot of this book very memorable in the people he chose to talk to and the anecdotes he chose to share. I think it's very well structured and very well put together, and I appreciate that. So that's that. There will be a link in the description if you want to find out more, and I'll be back very soon with another book review. Let me know if you've read this or if you delve into these sort of inspiring, almost self-help books, because I don't usually, and I found it quite interesting. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you soon. Goodbye.